So I'm gonna show you how to make little squares for whatever you want in your paper. You would start with a rectangle piece, and you're gonna cut parallel lines, but not all the way, because you need this part to hold your paper later. Okay, and try to make these as even as possible. Then you're gonna turn it sideways. I'm gonna use a big scissor for this so you can see. And I'm gonna cut straight across. And I want you to notice the shapes that are created. What are the shapes? Look at the shapes. Okay, so these are squares, right? Okay. So let's take that same concept and see if we can make rectangle shapes or multiple rectangle shapes. Same thing, you're cutting, 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 cutting. And I'm gonna ask you, how would you make them into rectangles? Remember, if we cut them fairly even, that would be squares. And so go a little bit further, and there you'll have a set of rectangles. Not all of them are perfect. There you go. See, you have a bunch of rectangles to use for your project. Okay, say you would want smaller pieces. What would you do? You guys are so smart. We are gonna cut parallel lines that are closer together. Closer together. And definitely go all the way across. There we go. And you would make, cut across, and look, these are this is the one from last time, and look how much smaller they are. And how about if you wanted them even smaller? Yes, you would cut these parallel lines even smaller. I'm just gonna show you a little bit here, and look how small they are. So these are great for like sprinkles in your art. All right, now the magic. We are gonna make diamonds. So I'm gonna make them somewhat big, but please know that you can make smaller diamonds too. So it starts the same way, where you cut parallel lines. And now, instead of cutting straight across, you are gonna actually tilt at a diagonal and cut. 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 And notice what the shapes look like. They are primarily diamond shapes. All right, so how would you make tiny diamonds? How would you make tiny diamonds? Excellent. You guys already know, I already know you know. You're gonna make tiny little thin, really thin. Be very careful. Thin, thin, parallel lines with your scissor. I'm gonna actually cut it here so we can get started. And then instead of going straight across, you're gonna go at a tilt and cut the paper in an angle. And there you have lots of tiny, tiny, tiny little diamonds. Have fun.